we feel very fortunate to have won the ball game. I think that, just starting on, with their pitching, it was outstanding. And, we put together one good inning, and, they walked a couple people and got a couple of hits and hit a batter or two. And, we felt like we left a couple runs out there, but it ended up holding up. So on our side, I thought, Blaine gave us another quality start. 6 pretty good innings and got out of a jam or two. Lowski came in and kind of bridged it, and then Matt finished it up. But, we played good defense, made a couple of nice plays. I thought Heston's play, getting that ball off the wall and making a perfect throw to second. Who knows if that saved a run or not, but that was a really nice play. And I thought the play that Casey Martin made when he kind of took a couple steps up and took a step or two back and got him a big hop and threw the ball to second base for a force out. I thought that was a really nice play, a heady play, and just feel fortunate, like I said.
Okay, open up now for questions for the student athletes. And
Aaron Fitt with UN Baseball. Blaine, obviously those guys have a pretty explosive offense, and it seemed like whenever they got a little something going, you were able to escape. But what was the game plan going into it against those guys, and what was really the key to holding them down a little bit?
The key was just trying to mix and just try to keep them from sitting pitches, because that's what they do a lot. They like to sit pitches in certain counts. So just playing off that, and then, they're a really good team. They can hit. They're an extremely good team, and, they put good swings on balls. They battled, tried to drive my pitch count, and, I was just able to execute pitches when the jams came along and just get out of them.
Okay, Jim?
Jim Callis from MLB.com for Blaine. Blaine, you had the opportunity last year, had you wanted to probably go pretty early in the draft and go out and play pro ball, decide to come back to Arkansas. To this point, can you imagine this year going any better than it has for you?
This year's gone to, everything I've wanted, so far. So, that's a credit to this team. This team's picked me up all year long, and we've battled together. So it's been this team. Without this team, I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in. So, all credit goes to them.
Okay, Mike?
Mike Malloy with the Oregonian. Heston, in that inning where you broke through against their starter, did you? He had been really dominant through the first 4 innings, but then in that 5th inning, he started missing some spots. Did you get a sense that he was rattled, or did you get a sense that maybe he was gettable in that situation?
He lost command of his fastball a little bit and was out of the zone. So as a hitter, we're all just trying to be patient, see him in the zone, and he ended up missing his spots a few times, walking a few guys, and then also hitting a few guys, and that equaled a few more runs for us.
Okay, we'll go with Mike first, and then
Mike Lana, Baseball America. Blaine, that 4th inning, the interference call there and the double play there, what was your reaction to that? Obviously, it saved a run from scoring, and did that influence you on the mound at all? Did that help you at all, give you some momentum?
Yeah, absolutely. That was huge. He slid in late, interfered with jacks, and, it played into our advantage, so we ended up being able to leave a runner on third. So that was huge, and momentum-wise, I feel like it gave us a momentum swing for sure, because, they were starting to get a little bit of something there. And so, we stopped it real quick and were able to turn it back over.
Okay, right here.
Bo Mattingly from Sports Talk in Arkansas. If all 3 players would answer, start with Grant. What's the mentality of the team getting this victory tonight, knowing you're 1 game away from winning a national championship? Kind of what's your mindset as a group?
After the game, Coach's immediate message was, we have a lot of work to do, and, there's a lot of unfinished business, and we got to come out tomorrow with a sense of urgency for sure. That was the message, and I think we all, he didn't even really have to say it. We all know that, our season can end at any point. It can end in 2 days. We all know that. We're just fighting for one more day, one more game with our guys. So we're definitely going to come out with a sense of urgency tomorrow.
Blaine?
Yeah, to piggyback off Grant, there's still a lot of work to be done. So, whatever, this little small taste of whatever, we got to flush it by tomorrow morning, because we got to come out and get to work again.
Heston?
Just like they said, we got to come out here tomorrow with a sense of urgency and play another good game with a great team that we have here, and they'll hopefully work out in our favor.
Okay, Aaron?
Grant, you've been back there for a lot of these big games, from Blaine. In your opinion, from your perspective, what is it about this guy that makes him thrive, it seems like, when the spotlight is the brightest?
I mean, first off, I think it's his competitive nature. He never gives an inch on the mound. You know, he's throwing any pitch in any situation, and obviously has amazing stuff. You know, obviously the talent's there, but what separates Blaine is his mentality, his work ethic. I mean, so many things go into it. He's absolutely one of the best pitchers I've ever seen and I've ever caught. But I think it's his mindset that sets him apart from a lot of people. And you know, you want that guy on the mound, and you're going to fight for that guy on defense. You know, I think that's what the team feels, and we know he's going to give us a quality start no matter what. So it's huge for us.
Okay.
For all three players, I guess, when you're standing out there in the field, obviously you can feel the crowd, but I mean, I don't know if you guys look around and notice that, you know, with 2 outs in the ninth, there's 20,000 hands in the air. It feels like you're playing a super regional at home. I mean, what's it like to be playing in Omaha on a national championship stage, and it kind of feels like a home crowd with everybody kind of calling the Hogs and trying to get that last third out?
Heston, you begin, please.
You know, it's amazing to have fans like we have in Arkansas. It's best in the country, and you know, it felt like we were playing in Baum Stadium, just a lot bigger with 25,000 Arkansas fans in it, and you gotta love having support like that when you're playing college baseball.
Blaine?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this place was rocking tonight, and there was a lot of Arkansas fans here, and, you know, we really appreciate them making the trip up and, you know, giving us some really good positive energy to go off of, you know. So, I mean, I know that's what I was feeding off of during the game, and, you know, I'm sure the other guys were too.
Grant?
Yeah, talking about the atmosphere, you don't really think about it a lot, but there's definitely times where momentum shifts and you can feel it, and then, you know that there's a lot of Razorback fans that want you to win and want you to do well. So I think that's what we're playing for. I mean, so many came out to see us, and we appreciate it. We really do. The support that it's everywhere. It's at our hotel. It's, you know, anywhere we go. So we appreciate it, and we feed off it for sure, because I think it's unlike, you know, any other fan base in college baseball.
Okay, back here.
Andrew Stem, Omaha World Herald. For Grant and Heston, what is it about your lineup that allows you guys to string at bats together? I think in that fifth inning, you guys had 7 in a row reach base.
Grant?
First of all, I think we all put together good at-bats. You know, 1 through 9. I think that's, no matter whether you get hits or not, you're always driving the pitch count. You're always having a good at-bat. That starts it. I mean, and then there's guys that get hot, and there's guys that have really good games, and that could be 7 people, 8 people out of the lineup, or that could be 2 or 3, and they can carry you one day. So it doesn't matter the guy. We know that. You know, it doesn't have to be one certain guy. There's no pressure on anybody. So you know, when you start putting good at bats together, putting a little pressure on the pitcher, you know, they start to lose command a little bit, and as long as you don't, you know, expand the zone like we did in the first few innings, you know, we're in good shape as an offense.
Heston?
You know, 1 through 9, everyone's a tough out, and we're always battling pitches and fighting pitches. And on top of that, everyone's got each other's backs. If the guy in front of you doesn't get the job done, it's your turn to get the job done. And if you don't get the job done, the guy behind you is going to step up and make sure he gets it done for the team. Because at the end of the day, we're a family, and someone's going to step up and get the job done for one another.
Okay, Tom, this will be our last question for the student athletes.
Okay, Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. For Blaine, on the night that you get a school record 14th win, Cronin gets a school record 14th save, can you address that? And the interference call, how big do you think that wound up playing in the game, and something that fueled you right there?
Yeah, I mean, the school record thing, you know, that's huge for Cronin, and you know, I'm happy with it too. You know, it's been a long year. It's been a fun year though, and you know, and it just shows that hard work pays off. You know, and then as far as the interference call, you know, I think it was a little bit of a momentum shifter, especially for us. You know, and still on defense. You know, that gave me a little drive to want to get out of the inning without something happening, and just gave me a little extra boost. And then offensively, I thought we started putting some good bats together after that. So you know, it was. I think it played out in our favor.
Okay, guys, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow night. Reminder that Game 2 tomorrow night, Arkansas will be the home team, 6 o'clock on ESPN. If necessary, the third game will be at 5:30 on Thursday on ESPN2. Thanks, guys. Now, questions for Dave, and we'll go back over here to Mitch.
Mitch Sherman, ESPN.com. Dave, the momentum, from your perspective, how did you feel about the momentum carrying from the bottom of the fourth to the top of the fifth, and you know what it did for your guys when they started to get something going in that against Heimlich?
Well, one of our goals with offensively tonight was to get his pitch count up as his third start, in I don't know, 11 or 12 days. We just felt like that, early he was awfully good, and he was getting, it just seemed like that, he was keeping the ball down, he was getting calls, and breaking ball was okay, and then we could kind of see it go away. It just kind of went away, He ended up walking to that inning, hitting to that inning, and probably a little momentum. We instead of being down 2-0, we were down 1-0. But he came out and he walked Shaddy, and there we go. And we as a team felt like we left a couple runs out there. One for sure. We got to score a run with bases loaded and one out, and we didn't. Give credit to Chamberlain. He came in and did the job. We did a great job the rest of the game, but. We just put together some good at-bats. Like the player said, the guys got real patient with him and didn't chase and, got him out of the game.
Okay.
Matt DeMarinis, White and Blue Review. Dave, just to follow up with you, you brought a home team here in 2001 and 2002. I know you're probably worried about getting 27 outs tonight, but did you ever, catch yourself looking around or feeling the energy, and did it feel similar to those years in terms of how much of an advantage one team had in the home crowd?
It did. I actually made that comment earlier to someone that, this was kind of how crazy it was back when, we brought Nebraska here in 2001 for the first time. And I just kept reminding our players to stay calm and save their energy, because back in 2001, by the time the game started, our team was tired, honest to goodness, just from all that was going on and up and down. And I thought our guys did a really nice job of handling it, and just, I told them to walk around, walk from the bullpen, walk, just save it, and, save it for the game. And it was a great atmosphere, and fans are incredible.
Yeah, Aaron.
Coach, it seems kind of appropriate, I guess, that, Blaine's last start for you was here and ended in a win, given his career. What did you tell him when he got back to the dugout and you had that moment there, and how do you put what he's done into some context?
Well, what I said to him, I just gave him a hug and I just said thank you. It was pretty simple. He knew exactly what I meant. So, I mean, having a guy like him that you can, put out there every Friday or whatever, first game of the series, whether we start on Friday or Thursday, he gave us innings, and he saved our bullpen. He got a couple no decisions, got a lot of wins, and just a lot of stability. I appreciate him coming back this year. He felt like at the end of last year he was very tired. He had lost a lot of weight. He just felt like he needed another year, and obviously I feel like it was a good decision. Just for him to go out into professional baseball, I feel like he'll have a lot better success now than he would have last year. But it's, it was kind of surreal knowing that was the last time he was going to probably step on the mound for us. I mean, it is.
Back here to the left.
Coach Van Horn, Eric Sullivan with the Buzz 103.7. A lot of, was it anxiousness? A lot of, I think Jared Gates was kind of just in the middle of the base path one time. The interference call, just a lot of just guys probably just a little bit too anxious tonight. Did you see that at all?
I didn't think so. Jared Gates, he did a great job on that because he knew that no one was behind him. And if they weren't paying attention on that throw that went through the middle of the infield, that he could take an extra base. And once he got out there, he knew nobody was behind him. He didn't panic. He just kind of slowly looked around and got back to first base. The interference call, we didn't have anything to do with that. Obviously, they did that. Really on that play, I was looking to see where my pitcher was. I didn't really see the play because I didn't feel like my pitcher got over there to cover first. But there's always nerves and guys are always anxious. But I think it's just the way the game went.
Tom.
Hey, Dave. I'm wondering how does it feel to win a game like this when you're out hit 9-5, your extra base hits weren't in the big inning, and you hold a team down that really hits the ball this hard?
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, I feel fortunate to win the game. Baseball is a little different game sometimes, and you can have 8 innings where you don't do much, and you put together 1 inning, and if you pitch good enough and play defense, you can win. And you know, that's kind of what went on tonight. So anytime you can win a game when you get out hit, you know, almost double, feel pretty good about it.
Okay, Bo.
Bo Mattingly with Sports Talk. Dave, I asked the players, you know, kind of what the mindset was, and they said what you had told them after the game. But can you kind of expand on that and just where you are after 1 win here and being 1 win away?
Well, I mean, it's exactly, Grant's pretty smart. It was basically word for word what I told him. And I just don't want him to get too wound up. I don't really want to think about it. I just want him to come out tomorrow with the attitude that tomorrow's do or die. I just think we play a little better that way. And, you know, take it to him. Don't wait for something to happen. And, you know, don't lay around in bed tonight thinking, oh, 1 more game, because that game will never happen if you act like that, think like that. You just got to come play. I mean, these guys are in a good place mentally. And, you know, it's not life or death. I've told them that 3 times this week. It's just baseball.
Okay,
Coach, Westmore, Fox 16 in Little Rock. We've talked a lot about the pitching. The hitting's great, but the defense tonight, Heston's throw and Gates' catch, the defense and what it's meant to this team down the stretch.
Well, we played pretty good defense for the most part here. Played pretty good in the regional, super regional. You know, we've had a day where we've made 3 or 4 errors, but we've run off, you know, a streak or 2 where we go 4 or 5 games without making one. And pretty steady team for the most part. Anytime you have young players on the field, there's going to be mistakes. And but I just want them to get, you know, I just kept telling them when we got the lead, we don't have to turn double play, just get outs. You know, make sure we get outs, communicate. You know, just, you know, try not to make the mistake that's, you know, routine type play. You know, you're going to boot balls. Baseball's the way it works. You know, you don't get upset about that. It's just the mental things that bother coaches and probably players that are standing on the field when it goes down. So we've done a good job of handling the ball so far.
Okay, Teddy.
Teddy Cahill, Baseball America. Dave, can you just talk about the development? Like, what has Cronin and Lowski done to get to the point where they're, you know, as dominant as they've been here in Omaha?
Well, Lowski was good in the fall for us and got off to a not so good start. Come January, February, he was a little upset about his pitching time, but he wasn't pitching real well. And we gave him the ball against Texas Tech. I think in the 1st or 2nd inning, it wasn't going real good. We started a freshman, and might have been in the 2nd inning, and I think he struck out like 15 or 16 that game. And that was his "Hey, I'm here" party, and he's been good ever since. And then Cronin just got bigger and stronger, and you know, he got mono during the season. That knocked him down for about 4 weeks, and it was down the stretch, you know, and it cost us a game or 2 not having him to close it. We felt like we might have been able to win the division without tying for the division championship, or maybe even challenge Florida for the overall, but we just tried to kind of survive until he got healthy again, because he's been our closer, and he likes that role. He's not intimidated. He doesn't care if he comes in the bases loaded, you know, with no outs. He just goes out there and lets it go. And he's actually got his breaking ball working a little bit. He didn't throw any tonight, I don't think. But it's been he throws it for a strike. It's a pretty good pitch. But having those 2 guys, you know, to pick up the slack in the middle and then to the end of the game, it's helped us, you know, finish off a lot of wins.
Okay, you have time for one more question for Dave, if anybody wants it. And there.
Hey, Dave, Matt Jones. Can you speak to the defensive plays? There were a number of them tonight, in particular the ones by Kjerstad where he threw the runner out at second, and the Gates catch.
Well, I think, you know, you start with Gates. I mean, Gates is he is a blue-collar kid, and yeah, the catch was a great catch, but how about the backhanded play he makes on the interference call? That was a fantastic play. Semi-dive, ball was hit hard. But the catch, that's all about wanting to. I mean, he laid out pretty hard. He landed on his knee and hurt himself a little bit, but you know, he's not fleet of foot, and he's not the greatest athlete out on the field, but he gave you everything he had right there. And, you know, all of his teammates really appreciate it. Obviously, the coaches did. And, you know, Heston's play, I think Heston was still bummed out about not seeing that ball in the sun. You know, fortunately, we didn't give up that run there. And when he had a chance to make a play, he made an absolutely perfect throw, and it was on the line and had something on it. And right when it left his hand, we could tell that he was going to get him. So just a couple of nice plays. I mean, like you say, you start to count outs, and we knocked down a couple right there because guys really went after the ball hard.